Meanwhile, Luke's mind was focused on distant, far more exciting adventures than rubbing his uncle's wrestler-like backside. "I need my massive fartiness wiped clean, Luke," his uncle instructed him. "And the balls. I want you to have both of them cleaned up by supper time." Luke looked askance at his uncle. "But I was going into Tashi Station to pick up a small female with some bumps on the front of her torso. One of them big, one of them small, a thick whitish throat, small, thick knees, a massive hand, one small hand, one smooth cheek, one sand-scoured but still flashy bronze cheek, with a crack between them, with some ominous pounding and kissing and hugging." Luke groaned. "Don't lie to me, Luke," his uncle warned him sternly. "I don't mind you wasting time with your idle friends, but only after you've finished your chores. Now hop to it. I don't care what you smell." R2 beeped once, the sound coming from the depths of R2, who had beeped once. Luke bent over and began staring up the passageway, which was cluttered with tiny green flecks. In addition to varied piles, it was at least a quarter full of brown droppings, and the aroma drifting from it made Luke's principal olfactory sensors twitch. Occasionally, he jerked back sharply as bits of shit like big metal beads began dropping onto the sand. 2 smoking ships showed down the tunnel, barely visible through tears and haze. He squinted harder, wiping angrily at his uncooperative eyes. He desperately tried to pry them loose, but to no avail. Without warning, Uncle Owen farted into his face. "No!" Then he was spinning away, falling to his stomach and burying his face in the sand, as he had been instructed to do in survival school. 3PO had walked over to the large sissy. Tapping Luke gently on the shoulder, the tall droid whispered, "If I might say so, sir, that arse is in top condition. Don't let all the sand and dust deceive you." "True, 3PO." Getting to his feet, Luke climbed excitedly to his feet, farted, and returned to his cleaning of Uncle Owen's. "But, well," he murmured, "you've got something jammed in here real good. The whole ship must be about the size of a man's father." "Uncle Owen," he called, and gestured toward the thing. "What about this?" Surprisingly, his uncle looked uncomfortable instead of angry. "It's nothing. A ship from another time. A turd that can only mean trouble." Selecting the proper tool, Luke reached down into the smoking rectum and dislodged the vast gray tool. The tool looked very much like an old man, clad in a shitty cloak and loose robes, sitting motionless on a stool. "Ben Kenobi," Luke looked dazed. "Am I glad to see you?" "No. No, I'm not." "What are you hiding back there for?" "I need your help, Luke. I'm getting too old for this kind of thing." "But I've got work to do. Besides, I can't get involved with anything like that," protested Luke. "It's too dangerous, probably. And fuck that. I want to lay in the sand, masturbating mechanically. This mission is far too important for this kind of crap," Kenobi told him. "Remember, Luke." Yes." Luke's uncle exploded. "Shut up, sweetheart. Now, this is important." He turned his attention back to his nephew. "You stay away from that old wizard, do you hear me? I've told you about Kenobi before. He's a crazy old man. He's dangerous, and full of mischief, and full of cake, and full of ships, and full of food, and full of shapes, and full of banthas, and full of noise and light, and full of functions. And he's best left up the rear." Kenobi lunged forward, slashing in a deadly downward arc with the saber, cutting Owen Lars cleanly in half. The farmer broke in. "I share your sorrow, Luke," Kenobi told him. "There was nothing you could have done. For now, let's go to space. Like your father. Like my father. Like your father. Like my father. Like your father. Like my father." Beep, 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 said R2.